Hey all, welcome back. I have a updated video for one of my older ones. It's the dual boxing guide for Hotkeynet with Refer a Friend for World of Warcraft. And the video's done really well, but a lot of people say they can't get it to work anymore with Legion out and all that stuff. Well, I took it upon myself to jump in and find out what was wrong. A lot of people said they couldn't get their windows renamed. They couldn't get it to work and load properly and all that stuff. And part of that has to do with 3 years ago, the Blizzard app was not a thing and all that stuff. So the way we load, or the way that I told you guys how to load the app, or the scripts and all that stuff, doesn't work anymore. It just doesn't work. So I tore it all apart, broke it down, and tried to find a way to get it to work for Legion, which I have. I had some help on the dual boxing forums, and a gentleman on there also gave me some more information on the program itself and where it headed. Okay, this is the same website, hotkeynet.com, that I used 3 years ago. The same 2.10 build that I used 3 years ago. So the program itself is polished enough that it still works. We just have to implement it differently. Okay, and just go up here to the free download section, download the program, install it onto your computer somewhere. You'll find it. Okay. And I'm going to talk about Hotkeynet 2. It is not a thing anymore. It was going to be transitioned up to Hotkeynet 2, but the developer switched over to MojoWare. He focuses it on this, which is a dual boxing program for Dark Age of Camelot. Okay, never played the game, but it looks like fun. If you do play the game and you don't know about this, I'd definitely give it a shot. Dual boxing is always a lot of fun. But with that out of the way, just because Hotkeynet doesn't have any more support or is not getting updated anymore doesn't mean it doesn't work, like I said. So we're still going to use this. I'm going to put this out there just in case someone finds this video in time. The holiday deals are out for Legion. Okay, 100 characters for $25 on Legion upgrade. Really, really good. If you're new to dual boxing, I suggest that you start on level 1 characters, free, play on trials or something like that, and get to learn it at level 1 before you pay money for 100 characters. Dual boxing has a lot of trial and error, a lot of learning, and stuff like that. So, jumping into a full, say, 5-boxing team of level 100s is going to be a lot of learning really quickly, not to mention it. So it may feel overwhelming, and you may not like it, and it's a lot of wasted money. So start small, you'll learn more, and you'll be more effective when you get to 100. So give that a shot, though. If you're a veteran, though, that's a pretty cheap account upgrade. So with that out of the way, let's get into the actual Hotkeynet program itself. Okay, the program is pretty simple, but it's so simple that it doesn't really tell you what to do. Okay, basically the program has no on and off button on the program. Okay, it doesn't really tell you how to use it. But there is an on and off switch. It's your scroll lock key on your keyboard. Okay, so just think of it as your on and off button when you're running this. If your light's on, you're on. If it's off, you're not running it. Now, the program itself is ran on a script setting. Okay, they're ran on scripts. Now, if you don't know what a script is, it is a text document with information that tells this program what to do. Okay. Now, the best way to get them is I'm going to be posting in the description a link for a 2-box, 3-box, 4-box, and 5-box setup for multiboxing with WoW. Now, I'm going to put paste bins so you guys can just copy that information into a Notepad document. So just come down to, if you're on Windows 7 or whatever, open up a Notepad document, and then go to the link that I put in for the script, copy, paste it into here, and then save it as whatever you want. 2, 3, 4 boxing, whatever you want. The title doesn't matter, so just put it in there. Now I'm going to emphasize, when you do this, to be very careful when you copy and paste, okay? If you put one space in the wrong section, it's going to send the entire script into chaos, okay? It'll just error out. So we want to make sure that when we're copying and pasting that we're being very careful. The next thing is right here at the bottom left hand corner. Okay, when you get a script and you have saved it to your desktop or wherever you put them, hit this load script option and then find the file location that you just made and then click on the file and then hit open. Okay, I'm loading a 4-boxing script for now. So basically when you hit the open and it loads up, if you have no errors right here, the actual program itself, you're going to be fine. The program, that means it's updated or loaded and there's no errors in the script itself. So you're good to go. The next stage is teaching you guys how to edit a script. Okay, and the reason why you would want to do this is because I don't use the standard WASD movement keys. Okay, not to mention my file location for where my World of Warcraft file is different from yours or different from others. So you have to change a few things. Okay, so basically you just go down into this. Once you have your script loaded, or the one that you copied from me or something, go down here to the edit script option and hit that button. Okay, it will open up the document or the script that you've made into the text file. Okay, now it looks like a lot. Okay, just a lot of words and things that you have no idea what they're used for, but I will explain them to the best of my ability so you guys can learn it. Right here at the top, I'm going to skip this section for just a moment. I'll come back to it because it's very important on how to actually get this program to work. But I'm going to skip it for now, but just telling you about that. The next section, right down here, is where your World of Warcraft file execute file is located on your computer. Okay, so if yours is on your C drive or F drive or wherever it is, follow the location path and put it here, just to be on the safe side. We're not going to be launching through the script. We're not going to be opening our WoW accounts through the script. We are just going to manually do that ourselves through the Blizzard app. But still, if you're having an issue of it not working, change where your World of Warcraft file is, okay? Just to be on the safe side. Now, be very careful when you edit this, okay? Just make sure that there's no spaces and they're inside the quotations, okay? Just make sure when you do that. The next biggest thing is the define hotkey section for all key combinations, okay? This is going to be where every single key that you press on your keyboard, this is going to be sent to the program and then sent to your other screens, okay? So I have taken it upon myself to open up a lot more keys than the original document gave. So you have A through Z, 0 through 7. You got numpad 0 through 9. The OEM2 is basically your backslash key for things like, slash dance, and all that stuff in the game. I know a lot of people out there, myself included, that would make, slash dance macros or would use the slash key to dance or talk or whatever. So the original script that I gave, you can't use that anymore. You actually have to define the actual slash key when you open up chat on your other accounts. So I added it here. You got your escape, shift left, enter. Backspace obviously is pretty simple. It deletes all what you type and stuff like that. So added it into here. You got your space for clearing AFKs, jumping, and all that stuff on your other characters. I added in the F1 through 12. But the other section that I want you guys to emphasize on right here is this one. The except section. Okay. This is a section that is defined to not be transmitted. Okay. So I have ES and F right here in my section. Well, those are my movement keys. Okay. I use E, S, and F, which is forward, strafe left, and straight right. I don't use a backpedal or anything like that. So basically, if you use the standard WASD, which I know a lot of you guys out there do, the best way to edit this is really simple. Okay, just come over here, delete what I put in here, okay, and just right after the accept, hit a space and put W, capital W, comma, space, capital A, comma, space, S, space, or comma, space, and then D. Okay, so it's basically a letter, comma, space, letter, comma, space. But right here at the end, okay, you'll see the bracket. Just butt the D up to the colon. Okay, that's all you have to do. Do not add another space or another comma. Okay, so that's how you change your movement keys to WASD. Okay, now that's not it. You want to select all this. You want to copy it and then come down here to the defined movement key section. Okay, and then select this, what I have put here, and then hit Control V. Okay, so you're copy and pasting your WASD keys here as well. These are going to then define as movement keys. So if you don't add them here, down here in the bottom section, but you have them accepted up here, your character won't move. Okay, it's a pain if you don't do this the right way. So make sure you guys change this if you use different keybinds. And if for some reason you use, different binds, just make sure you have a capital letter, comma, and a space. Okay? So I'm going to change mine back. So I use, E, comma, space, S, comma, F. Pretty simple. Okay, I just changed my binds. Now I come down here, and I do the same thing. E, comma, space, S, comma, F. Pretty simple. Now, this section right here is anything before the accept, okay, is going to be transmitted. So let's say right here, I have only 0 through 7 being transmitted. Okay, let's say you want to add 8 for some reason. I wouldn't see a reason not to, but you could actually come over here, and then you could hit this, and then hit 8, and now you're transmitting 0 through 8. Okay, but I'm using 8 for another bind, so come over here, and you could come one section past the comma. You can hit space once and type 8 and then another comma, and that will add 8 into the script to be transmitted as well. Okay, just make sure that as there's a space, a number, a comma, and a space when you add new stuff. Okay, but I don't need 8 being transmitted, so we're just going to have 0 through 7, comma, space, numpad 0 through 9. Okay? Now the reason why I only have 0 through 7 being transmitted on mine is because I'm pretty sure you guys have seen back in the day shamans doing their chain heal, formations and stuff like that. I use them for more practical reasons, and it's for spreading out my characters, especially when doing 5-mans and soloing and stuff like that. It's good to spread your characters out so you don't get AoE down or something like that. But the formation setup is different from what it used to be with the original script that I released. You used to be able to set up a bind, a single button, on all your characters in a direction you wanted them to move, and then just hit that button. Well, now you have to have 2 keys for one. Okay, so basically I have right here in the defined keys is the movement key or movement hotkey scroll log on 8. Okay, 8 is defined through the program Hotkeynet. Okay, that's the button it's going to send. When you hit 8 in game, it's then going to transmit over to the actual defined movement key of the in-game characters. Okay, so in game I have four hunters. Okay, and each of them have a defined movement key on F1, which is one of them is strafe left, one of them is strafe right, one of them is to back up, and the other one is to move forward a little. Okay, so but they're all set to F1. Okay, all of them are set to F1. They may be different directions, but they're all defined as F1. So when I get into the game and I start up everything and I'm playing, and I hit 8 on my number pad or on my keyboard, it's going to then transmit that as F1 to all of my accounts. So it's 2 buttons, 1 button with 2 different actions. Okay, so it's kind of different, but it works just the same. So when I hit 8 in game, it's going to then transmit it as F1 and move my characters apart from each other. Now you can change this right here in this section. You can change 8 to 1, you can change 8 to Y, just make sure it's capitalized, Okay, you can change it to whatever you want. Okay, down here too in the key options, you can change F1 to 2 if you want to, and then just on your characters in the game, change that key binding for the movement section or movement direction to whichever one you want. So if you want to change it to 2, you can. But I'm going to keep it at F1. Now, that is the biggest section right there for your key bindings. Okay, this section for your defined hotkeys on what you're transmitting and what you're not, with the here and the accept section. Okay, down here with the defined movement keys for making sure that they're also set here as well, and your formation options. Okay, for how to change the binds for those. Okay. Now down here at the bottom, this was a broadcast modifier for AoE stuff, spells and stuff. Basically, you use the tilde key, which is the button left of 1 above tab. It's titled as the OEM3 key in script. So basically what you would do back in the day, now I don't have characters that are high enough level to actually have AoE yet, so someone can tell me if it still works, but you would hold the tilde key down, okay, and then you would press the bind that you have set. So let's say we are playing 4 mages, okay. I have Blizzard set to 2 on my key bindings. So I would hold down the tilde key, I would press 2, and then I would, left click on my main character screen. And now what it would do, it was then mimic the area on the other accounts to where my main screen was, and then it would just cast it on that point. So that's how you AoE stuff down when you have AoE spells. I don't know if it's still working though with this script setup. So if someone could actually tell me if it's still working on a higher level tune, that'd be great. If it's not, I'll look into it and see if I can fix it. But for now, that's how you use the alt modifier for the AoE spells. Okay. Now, I said I'd get into this section back up here, which is how to load World of Warcraft and how to rename your windows and stuff like that. So I'm gonna minimize this stuff real quick, or make it smaller. What we're going to do is I have my 4-boxing script loaded, okay? So go into your Warcraft app real quick. Oh, where did I put that damn thing? Must have closed it out. So open up your battle.net program, or the desktop app. Okay. Now, what we're going to do here, we're going to change some settings for Warcraft, okay? Go into your settings in the General tab right here at the top, and then click Allow Multiple Instances of Battle.net. That is going to allow you to have more than one WoW open at a time, okay? Apply and then hit Done, okay? The next thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go inside your World of Warcraft, change your display settings to window mode, okay? Now, I have already done that, but it's pretty simple. Graphics, and then go into and change it to window mode. Hotkeynet does not work in full screen mode, okay? So you're going to have to change that. Now, once you have that set or changed in-game, make sure you exit so it saves your settings. And then, once you've changed your settings, let's get into how to load it, okay? So right here, above play, you're going to have all of your accounts that are linked to Battle.net, okay? Now, I have all of my accounts linked to one account. Some that Multibox may have multiple Battle.net accounts, and just log into them as you would in your main one, okay? Now, you just hit play on the account you intend, or the accounts you intend on multiboxing, okay? They should load up in window mode like this. Now, just for simplicity, I'm gonna load all of them onto one screen, okay? Okay, here we go. So that's account number 1. If you do load all your accounts on one account, make sure that you stagger out your logins, because if you try to log in too quickly on your other accounts back to back, you'll actually kick yourself out of logging in on your next account. So now I'd like to tell you guys, screen setup, it's all how you want it. Now I'm going to have to say, if you're playing on a single monitor, you're going to have a little bit of a difficult time dual boxing, but it's not undoable. All these window mode screens are pretty simple. Just grab a corner and shrink them down however you want. You know, shrink them down really small and put them up in the corner. I've seen people like line them up, you know, on the bottoms or tops, that kind of thing. Though I have multiple monitors, I used to have a triple monitor setup, so it was pretty easy for me to get my screens all laid out. But you can get a secondary monitor 1080p for about 150, 160 bucks. So, all right. So we have all 4 of our accounts up and running. Okay. Now I'm going to minimize this thing right here, and we're going to check on the scripts real quick. Right here, it defines at the top, which isn't really descriptive, but it says press Control R to rename WoW if you launch them manually. Okay. We have launched all 4 of our accounts manually. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to target our main character, our main screen, the first one we loaded. We're going to hit scroll lock on our keyboard. Okay. So your scroll lock light is on. Now right now, hit Control R, and then Control T. Okay. That is 2 Control R's and 1 Control T. Now what that has done, it has renamed all of our windows up here in the top corner to WoW 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Now, to test this, to see if you are actually, you know, if it's working, if you've done it right, and there's no airing out or nothing like that, just hit, with scroll lock still on, hit enter. Okay. Now what this is going to do, it'll instantly log in all 4 of your characters because you entered world. Okay. Now, that's it. You have got the program up and running. You've got the script made, and you're able to log in, and your binds are transmitting. It's a pretty simple setup. Okay. Now, I'm going to probably cut here, and I'm going to edit the video in game to give you guys a tutorial on how to dual box while playing. I'll give some add-ons, suggestions, and basically I'm going to give you some macros and how to dual box is basically what I'm going to do. So I'll be back in just a little bit and teach you guys how to do that. Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, we're in game now with my 4-boxing hunter team, and let's go over the basics here. I'm going to give you the naked core playthrough or playstyle of multiboxing. Every single multiboxer uses these core mechanics to play. Okay, I'm going to go over those core mechanics. I'm going to go over binds, macros, interface settings real quick, and then I'll talk about add-ons at the end because it all follows up that way. First off, every single multiboxer that you've ever seen, the first thing they do when they log in and they're ready to play their team is they invite their group. Okay. Now I have got a group here of my hunters and a simple macro, which is /invite each of their names. Okay. And that is a group invite in a macro form. I have it bound to number 2 on my action bars. So when I press number 2, you'll see on the right hand side here, I have all 3 of my team screens up there. You'll see a pop-up come up when I hit number 2. That's a group invite. Now you could do it the slow way, or you can do it the quick way. The slow way would be alt-tabbing over, accepting an invite on each of those characters, and then moving on. If you keep alt-tabbing constantly to your following accounts, you're going to get sick and tired of multiboxing, okay? You want to be effective and efficient when you're doing this, and you want to be, having things streamlined. Alt-tabbing over, like I said, to all of your accounts every 20 minutes or every 10 minutes or every 5 is going to get annoying. So let's try to streamline what we're doing here. With that invite out, you can make a new macro, okay? And the macro is this. It's /click static popup 1 button 1. Now don't worry about the macros and stuff. Don't copy them down and all that. I'll have a paste bin with all of these macros and stuff like that ready for you to copy and paste from that. So basically I have this bind, this yes button on number 1 on all of my characters, okay? So I'm going to do this again. I'm going to hit scroll lock, so I'm broadcasting keystrokes, okay? I'm going to press number 2 to send the invitation, and then I'm going to hit number 1 to accept the invitation on my group, okay? You do not need an add-on to invite to your group. You don't. I literally could have invited my team in less than 2 seconds with these 2 buttons, okay? And they don't even have to be on action bars or binds. You can put them on clicks. So basically, after you have your group invited, okay, you're going to need a follow macro, okay? So open up your macro again, and then go over here, and a /follow macro is really simple, okay? /follow your team leader's name, okay? Mine is Mindbox with the green hair here, okay? So they have it bound to tab on the action bars on my following characters. So each of these characters has this bound on tab. So what I'll do is I'll run forward here. I'll turn on scroll lock, so I'm broadcasting keystrokes, and then I will just hit tab. Okay. Boom. They all followed me. So now that we are group invited, we have a follow macro working. The next one, core mechanic, is a /assist macro. These /assist macros work at telling these 3 characters, my following accounts, what to target and what to shoot. Okay. So the assist macro looks like this: /assist Mindbox, which is my team lead's name, /cast whatever spell that I have in my spellbook. Okay. So at the time, I'm level 3, so I only have Cobra Shot. So you can do this one of 2 ways. You can hit /cast space and you can type it in there yourself, or you can shift click it into there. Okay. Now, when you get a new spell, see down here at level 4, we're going to get Concussive Shot. Okay. You will hit new here in the macros, and then you will do the same thing. You will have /assist Mindbox /cast Concussive Shot. Okay. As a new bind, and then bind it over onto your other accounts, same buttons. Okay, so you want to mimic same kind of setup. So I have Cobra Shot and the assist Cobra Shot on my alts bound to button number 5. Okay, on my mouse I have a Razor Naga. So I'll enable scroll lock. I will make sure my characters are following me. Then I will target this training dummy, and then I will hit 5 on my mouse. As you can see, they're all casting Cobra Shot on the training dummy, because they have assisted my target and cast Cobra Shot. Now, we have the follow, we have the assist macro with an attacking spell, and we can kill something. The next thing we got to worry about is looting, okay? So we are going to come over here to this ward, and we are going to turn off scroll lock real quick. We are going to go into system settings, or game settings, and go to key bindings. Go to targeting, scroll down here all the way to the bottom, and you'll see a thing called interact with target. Okay, I have it set to 6. Okay, now you can set it to whatever you want, so whatever's comfortable for you. So once you have that set, hit OK, and then go into your interface settings on mouse, and then enable click to move on all of your following accounts. Okay, not on your main account, just your following accounts. Okay. Now what this is going to do, it's going to allow us to interact with the target after it's dead. Okay. So we're going to kill this warrior real quick with a focus macro, or a assist macro. Okay, whoops, got to make scroll locks on. Okay. Let's try that again. We're going to target this ward. We're going to shoot this guy. Okay, so we killed it. Now that it's dead, we want to loot it. You can do it the slow way, which is alt-tabbing over and making all your characters loot it, or you can do it this way. I have interact with target bound to 6, so I will hit my number 5 key on my action bar, which is Cobra Shot, which is the assist macro, and you see that my characters have targeted the corpse on the right hand side here. Now hit 6, or whichever one you bound your interact with target to, and they will run to it themselves with click to move enabled and loot the target. Okay. Now, I was trying for hours to get this to work without an add-on, and each time I would loot the corpse with multiple characters at once, several of them would just get stuck, loot locked. Okay. The loot assist add-on that I found is specifically designed for multiboxers. Okay. It gets rid of the loot lock and just, it just keeps spamming the corpse until you loot the target. So it's not going to get you stuck anymore. You're going to be able to loot it without having problems. I love this add-on because I was spending about 30 to 40 seconds trying to hit escape and retarget and re-interact with target to loot it. And that's a lot of time. 40 seconds or so to loot a target. That's a lot of time wasted. Where you can do something like this now. You can target whatever you want. You can kill it. And then, target one of those, have it assist, and then hit one button, and boom. You have looted all the targets in less than a second. So much faster than what I was doing without the add-on. So, and each time you target something, and you hit the interact with bind, or interact with target bind, your characters are going to break follow. So just hit tab again, or whichever one you've set your follow macro to, and walk away. So that's pretty much all you have to do for a /follow macro, a /assist macro, an attacking macro, interact with target and looting really quickly. Okay. Now the interact with target button also works on friendly NPCs. So when we're talking about questing, it's an easy way for you to walk up to an NPC and turn in a quest. Okay. The other essential add-on that I'm going to tell you you're going to need is auto turn in. It is, like it says, it's an automatically turning in quests add-on. But it has a twist to it, which is better. You can actually set your loot options specifically for your characters. So it'll automatically loot up, leather agility or male agility gear from a quest. And it's really simple to set up. It's like 2 pages and really straightforward. And it will pick up quests and turn them in for you. So, to do this with your, to talk to an NPC, a friendly NPC. Now, I do not have the quest, or the add-on, the questing add-on installed, but it's pretty simple. You target the NPC with your assist macro built into your Cobra shots, and then you hit your interact with target bind, which is 6 for me. And they will automatically run up there, talk to the NPC, open the dialogue, and if you had the add-on enabled, would automatically turn that quest in. Okay? And if there were 2 quest rewards there, and one was cloth and one was mail or leather, if you set it up right, they would choose the leather or the mail option and then loot it. So that's the fastest way for you to turn in quests off on your main screen without having to alt-tab constantly. You will eventually have to alt-tab to equip some gear, but I'm sure there's add-ons out there for that. I haven't found one yet, or needed one, so you can look that up yourself. But basically, that is the fastest way to group yourself up with your team without an add-on. You have 2 macros. To make a follow macro, You have your assist, targeting, and attacking macro. You have your targeting interaction after killing something and looting. And then you have your questing option with interact with target. Not to mention your 2 add-ons, your auto turn in and loot assist, to help you loot things faster and turn in quests without having to alt tab. That is your core naked experience with dual boxing, okay? It's really easy for you to take these instructions and go out into the world and just start questing immediately, okay? Nothing too fancy about it, and there's not 600 add-ons you have to install, okay? The other add-ons I have here, like I said, there's stuff unit frames, Domino's action bars, and Bagon. I'll put links to the description, or link in the description to all of these add-ons to download them on Curse. Get the Twitch desktop app to download. It's so much easier to do it that way. And then, so if you have any questions about the scripts, macros, or you have ideas of team comps that you want questions on and that kind of thing, as you can tell, I try to play with the range classes. I'm not efficient enough in teaching people how to play melee multiboxing. I'd hate to give what I know and then be it half-assed. So I may take the time after this and learn how to melee multibox and then make a video on that by itself. So I stick with classes that are ranged. Elemental Shamans, Balanced Druids, Shadow Priests, Hunters, Warlocks, and I do not mess with Mages because they don't have the survivability that the other classes do. If you are going to do Refer a Friend and you want a Warrior and a Priest, okay, and your group, I would suggest making your Warrior your team leader and have your Priest follow you and assist off you and cast whatever spells, okay? That's the best way I would dual box with one melee and the rest of casters. So, but, yeah, so if you have any questions, ask in the comments, and if you liked the video, thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down. And if you liked it, share it with a friend if you want to start dual boxing. And hopefully I can make another one soon. So thank you for watching, and until next time.